Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm Will Dragon, and this is All Quiet in the Trenches. We've just come back from a battle where we did pretty well. We actually won. I think we won. Did we win? We did win, and we kept getting told we were too far behind the enemy lines. Everybody got killed. Not my squad. My squad's perfectly fine. Everybody else is dead. Both French and German alike. Not a lot of Frenchmen ran away, and not a lot of Germans crawled home to claim victory. I can tell you that much. So we have a partially full hospital. Ooh, light stress was removed. We have bad weather which affects people differently. I mean, Cumberbund hates the heat. And so that's the situation we currently find ourselves in. We also have no food. So there is also that. Let's see if we have any more. Resupply came in. I love it. That is exactly what we were gambling on. So we now have lots and lots of food. The French will have a hard time stomaching this defeat, but there's no reason to rest on our laurels. I expect full commitment. Yes, no, sorry, that's not the word I was told how to pronounce. I was told how to pronounce lieutenant? No, sorry, I forgot it. Look, I apologize. I butcher all of the German words in this game. I apologize, and I will never end up getting them right. It's just beyond me. I'm currently in real life trying to learn Portuguese. I am no way going to manage to start learning German words on top of it. It will confuse the crap out of me. Anyway, on that note, let's continue. So there's not really a lot going on. We can pretty much just rest and relax. I might give my guys double rations. Well, it's not gonna happen, is it? How many of my guys are Catholic? Now there's a note sheet. Protestant. Are you Catholic? Yeah, Cody, you're Catholic. You're Catholic. Okay, that's 2. Protestant. I feel like I'm gonna have a full 50-50 split because you do have Protestant. Yeah, there is a rough. There is a pretty good mix. I think apart from potentially Con, who I think might be the only Jewish character, but I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. But I think that could be right. Feel free to correct me in the comments down below if you know any better. But I think it's a rough 50-50 Catholic Protestant mix with, like I said, Con being the only Jewish character. So 2 other characters should also get belonging, which will be Dana. Doesn't have belonging, and Male also does not have belonging, so that should be quite good. Let's just go and rest and relax. I'm not going to go double rations. I'm going to go against what I just said. And of course we have a story. Hunt looked neat and well groomed, yet I noticed right away that his appearance did not entirely comply with regulations. Only when he came closer did I realize that he wore a blue forget-me-not in his buttonhole, and had turned up his collar of his uniform jauntily. Lose a flare. Took the forget-me-not out of his buttonhole and dropped it. Yeah, Sergeant, eh? There is no joke. It's not about fun, he added quickly. For me, it's about beauty. I want to be a filmmaker. That's not... Oh, do I soften it down? Let's soften it down. Slap him and then hug him. That's what we're going for. He won't know where he stands. He'll respect me and he'll like me all at the same time. That's what we're going for. At first, I only operated the projector in the cinema, but then the owner of the cinema, who also owns a film production company, started using me more and more for all kinds of work. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I'm mostly confused. Okay, so what have we got? Hang on, let's wait till this stops. You went from neutral to camaraderie. That's really nice. You got more tired? How'd you manage that one? I didn't think preparing the church service was tiring. I'm gonna have to go back and double check that in the video afterwards. Optimistic. Oh, he's optimistic. Love it. Somebody. No, Linux note sheet. He's Protestant, but he's still got belonging. Interesting. I wonder if that was due to something else. Good recovery is removed because he's no longer lightly wounded. Linux is now only strained. Dana is no longer tired. And Smithbauer is that Smithbauer or Lutz? No, it's Lutz, sorry. Is just down on tired. Yeah, like that very much. Somebody wants us. You know what, Hermso, when you feel so good, things no longer that you no longer think about certain things that used to make you feel bad. Oh, good. He's no longer disappointed, and the average mood around camp is excellent. Your unit is tasked with guard duty. Okay. Gonna keep an eye on this guy, because he's, worrying me a little bit. We are gonna go up to double rations. I'm gonna double back on my double back. Just for one turn, though. Just for one turn. And then into guard duty. Well, we're gonna go Dana. He's all swell and dandy. And we're gonna go lots. I'm going lots of Dana. Oh, so we're about to have a straight through week. What have we got? Mayo, one of my men, had no secret of his previous work as a master brewer since he joined our troop. He often seemed to be thinking about his family and their brewery at home. He told everyone whether they wanted to hear it or not. I will let him talk. And then as soon as other people turn up, I will slip away. Oh, what else we got? When I saw the soldier Alfred's lots at camp, he was inspecting his assigned rifle with great interest. Almost as if he was memorizing the design. I made a good-natured joke. In Gunlersburg, he quipped back immediately. Well then, go ahead and fill yourself with your weapon. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. I was about to move away when he said, you also think that the war will be over? Will soon be over. I faltered. He is not patriotic, is he? He is fairly unpatriotic. Ah, but is he... That doesn't tell you whether he's religious or not. I mean, he's Protestant. Is that kind of less religious than Catholic? I don't know. Is there a ranking system in this? Because it doesn't really say whether he's religious. Are you in a hurry? I was actually planning something else when the war broke out. Then he quickly added, besides, I have 4 children and I want to go back to them, of course. But that seemed more of a distraction. Do you think it will be much longer before I can do that? This war won't be over quite so soon. Lost looked surprised and discouraged for a moment, then he added, I see. Thank you for your candor. With a heavy sigh, he added, even though I hope you are wrong. With these words, he turned back to his rifle and the conversation came to an end. Oh, he got slightly more tired. Determined has been removed. Disappointed and nauseated are also removed. Good, nothing else. He's no longer strained. All of them went down to tired. Of course, we have rats. And that, don't tell me, the latrine is full. The latrine is full. We've got rats. Standard ration. Thank you very much. Somebody wants to talk to me. We'll soon be relieving our comrades in the trenches in 2 turns' time. But no duties, I would like to point out. So let's see if we can't deal with these rats. I feel like I should potentially try and deal with the hospital being partially full. Let's see what we can do. Maybe we can kill these rats in a single turn. And we're going to go Linux. And I'm sorry, Hunt, but... Oh, you caused me problems a minute ago. You can go clean out the latrine. Oh, the bad weather has been removed. How fantastic. These 2 are now well rested. If only we had a little bit longer, I reckon I could get rid of faltering off Cummerbund. I reckon I could push it there. Strain has been removed, heat wave has been removed, and we now have 3 weeks worth of rations. Or 3 turns. I think they're actually 10 days now. I'll count during this next turn. Able to defend that, but the rats just keep on coming. Alright. The villagers are suspect. Alright, so let's come back to here. So we defended our food stocks, though. So that's a key point. Very tolerant. And tolerant. Pest control. Well rested and... Yeah, Dana. Actually, I want to try it. Let's get him past well rested. Let's get him past faltering. And let's make him recover. Yeah, so right, we're on 17. Let's see how many days it actually goes. I feel like it's 10. Lieutenant von Karlsbruck had just finished one of his inspections of our camp and was on his way to the next troop When Linux came up to me, he made sure that Lieutenant was no longer within earshot when he nudged me with his elbow and gave me a crooked grin. How can you stay so serious when he's around? I couldn't do that. Such a posh aristocrat with his detached ideas of how things should be. He began to imitate one of the Lieutenant's speeches about the importance of preserving the shine of our uniform buttons, and then interrupted himself with an amused snort. You are talking about a superior officer, I reminded him coolly. Apparently, my soldiers had forgotten how to act appropriately. It was about time I reminded them. Sorry, I didn't mean to be disrespectful. Linux backpedaled apologetically and quickly turned back to his duty. Okay, we got rid of the damn rats. Have you people ready? It's back to the trenches. Here's your gear. We'll never know. Yes, 10 days. Okay, so it is the 27th. And so that we get an extra grenade. We get a grenade. He's it goes up to being well rested. I don't know, people. Danik is now rested. I think everyone's well rested. Beautiful. Let's go to the trenches with my grenade. Go to the trenches with my grenade. Right. Somebody wants to talk to me. I wonder who this could be. Discarded construction. Is this really my first trench phase? Another communications trench collapsed. Oh, well, if that's all. Wow, is all I'm going to say. So we have a defensive position. We have some ladders. Do we have any machine gun posts? We do. Oh, I recognize this map, all right. This is the map we lost in our last playthrough. This is a map where I got myself in there. I got surrounded. I got beaten in a melee. It was rough, is all I'm going to say. If we start getting fog, I'm leaving. Maintain trenches. Right. Eeny, meeny, miny. Fetch rations. You can have that. Probably the easiest job. We will set up some barbed wire. We'll get one of the jobs out of the way. Let's hit next turn. Hunt! The French have a sniper in the area. He shot some of our comrades. We need more space here for reinforcements for ammunition as the basis of our future victory. Right. Of course we do. Build a defensive position. Yeah, that's right. Let's brown nose and get a bit of that. Oh, we very much still need lots. We very much fetch some rations. Still need some more food. And yeah, let's try and get some prestige. Ooh, let's try and get very high prestige. Ooh la la. Rations for 4 turns have increased. That's a weird way of saying that. Rations have increased to 4 turns. 1 second, folks. Just going to quickly make a note of this, as I do try and tell the devs in Discord. Okay, sorry about that. Like I said, just want to make a note so I could tell them afterwards, because I forget, basically. I completely forget. So everyone's gotten a little bit tired. The lieutenant would like to speak to me. A new defensive position. I see you're not afraid of hard work. Excellent, Herr Officer. That's what I want to see. And keep the construction plans. They're in good hands with you. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, brown nosing to the max. That's how you do it, folks. That is how you do it. Right then. Let us... I'm going to go get a few more rations once again. We're still on great... No, you're strained. Yeah, you're tired, you'll do. You're tired. You're probably tired. You're probably strained by... Oh, no, you're only tired. But let's send 3 of them. That should help get us through the next several turns. There you go, up to 6. Heavy artillery. Glad I just filled up on food. Hide all. Something is going on in the French trenches. Someone should take a closer look. No! I'm not that mean. Well, most of the time. Linux! An artillery strike has fallen in the middle of our trench. Debris is now blocking the direct route. Nope. What else you got for me? Oh, we got lots of things, actually. The dugout has been heavily hit and has buried some of our comrades underneath it. I know it's dangerous, but we can't wait. We have to help them or they'll die before morning. I volunteer, if you permit it, and send some more soldiers. Somebody got hit. Lots. Got lightly wounded. It nearly got me. I felt the shrapnel grazing past my throat. Thank God it only scratched the surface, but it did bleed for a good while. Damn, our defenses are completely destroyed. If we attack now, the French can mark them without any hindrance. What should we do? Is that his way of saying we've been hit again? So we've got to rebuild an emplacement here, but we've also then, I guess, got to rebuild an emplacement right by here. Yeah, we are pretty well battered. We do also 3 soldiers. I mean, obviously that would be Linux. He really wants to go there. Fairly courageous, fairly compassionate. You're courageous, but you're also not compassionate. He is also fairly outspoken. Assigned task. That is an order. I thought you'd be up for it. And then... You're courageous and compassionate. You're not. Hunt? I need you, my friend. I need you. Please, can't it wait another day? It cannot. I am sorry. We will save our fellow comrades. I mean soldiers. They're not called comrades. This is not Russia. Next turn. Although they're not actually called comrades yet either. It's too early into the timeline. Heidel. Nobody got injured. Did we manage to save anybody? We were able to rescue 3 soldiers from the debris and bring them to the field hospital with the help of other comrades who joined us. And if we tried, they wouldn't have survived much longer. You're welcome. Relieved, grateful, and excellent mood. Fan-dabba-dozy. Now, we have nothing going on. I'm going to say you. I'm going to say you. I'm going to say you. I'm going to leave the other one for a second. Next, we'll rebuild one of them. Second, we'll wait. We're back to camp in 2 turns. A couple of people are exhausted. Let's hide all. We still don't have any work given to us. Go recover in camp. You are tired. It'd be quite nice if he wasn't tired when we got back. Then he'll recover from his wound a bit faster. Let's fetch some rations. We'll go for... No, wait. We'll go for you 2. And we are actually going to go and rebuild that emplacement. If the French want to come, they can come. Bring them on. Loud voices carried over to me as I made my usual rounds that afternoon. 7 of my men surrounded Mail, who was seizing a soldier from another troop by the collar. Among the bystanders was Cummerbund. Even at a distance, I could hear Mail shouting at the other soldier. Traitors like you will get us all killed here. I intervened and had the 2 of them separated. It's Collini, that's who it is. We see him on the field all the time. Tony Collini, Mail huffed. Don't make me laugh. The name speaks for itself. Collini wasn't about to put up with this. The fact that my father came from Italy hardly makes me a traitor. Great guy, Collini. He's always there in the thick of things. Always ready to go at it, you know? I mean, I like Collini. And I decide, Mail, that we were all comrades here. Leave the man alone. I interrupted the argument. He's one of us now, and he's fighting alongside us. Mail was about to reply when Cummerbund put a hand on his shoulder. Come on, let it go. Scoffing, Mail turned away. May had to be punished. Yes, I am aware of that. Won't happen again, Herr Unteroffizier. He replied meekly and moved away with his head bowed. I don't know how I'm going to punish him out here, but I don't know. Where is he? Mail. Additional tasks? Go fetch some ammunition? I don't know. We go back to camp in a turn, apparently. Maybe you'll get a turn of recovery. I don't know. Let's hide all. Maybe we'll get stuck here. There's also that possibility. But no, we did, we rebuilt our trenches though. So the next guy should be very grateful. That's all I'm saying. Tell your people to stop packing. We're staying behind. So now they really will get some time to recover. There's not too much going on, though. 6 turns of rations. We didn't manage to get any more bullets, it seems. I'm not going to put any bridges by the... bridges! Any ladders by there. I am going to put some ladders by here. We're going to go for that being kind of... Come plus one of the last men standing. I suppose I do probably give him a bit of an easier time than some of my other guys, to be fair. Mail. Go recover in camp. That's right, we're 3-man gambling. I'm hoping Lots comes back this turn, basically. Yeah, there he is. Reporting back to my breaking camp. Rested and ready for orders. Do I hear more artillery? Yes, I do. How long we got left? 2 more turns. And here comes Hunt, reporting back from my breaking camp. Is there anything else? An artillery strike has fallen in the middle of our trench. Oh, just go away. Covering camp, except next turn. At least Von Carlsbrook wasn't giving us any orders. And I don't think we can be... Yeah, pack your things. We are relieved. I don't think we can be told to stay here twice, because I've never seen it. Reporting back from my break. Let's see if we can even get through the camp phase in this episode. I mean, we've only been hitting 20 minutes. We usually pay for about 10 more. So we'll see what happens. I think we've gotten rid of the rats. Beautiful. The supply is running low. That is correct. But has it come back in? We have a few prisoners of war in our camp that need guarding until they can be moved to a prison. So, that next shipment. A few more weeks. I don't like the sound of that. It's the 10th of June. Don't think we're going to get harvest season anytime soon. I'm going to go for you and Lots, as a matter of fact. Good recovery has been added. We're gambling a little bit here. I'll go for one more turn and see what happens. We actually went down to half ammunition. Unusual. Dan and Hunt were lounging in the tall grass next to a basket full of cherries, which Dana had probably collected himself. They were amusing themselves, flipping the cherries at each other, trying to hit the other's mouth with moderate success. Should we offer some to Herr Under Officer? Hunt asked his comrade as I approached. Dana looked up and noticed me, then smiled and gestured towards the bundle. Please help yourself. They both actually do like me, which is unusual. Go on, throw it! I've never clicked this one. Guffawed in surprise and launched the first cherry, a good few centimeters past my waiting mouth. Hunt's bemused hooting quickly drew in more bystanders. So there was a jubilant cheer when the 4th cherry finally made its mark. I straightened my back, gave them my thanks, then picked up the cherries that had missed and went on my way. Is this going to go and ruin my prestige? Dana received an unusual letter via the Red Cross, sent by the mayor of Mulhouse. My puzzlement must have been written all over my face when I handed him the letter, because when our eyes met, he sighed and muttered, "It's a long story." Only if you want to share it. I offered. I would hardly force him to do so. Dana hesitated for a few moments, but then began to speak. The short version: my brother-in-law, the husband of my second youngest sister, is a Prussian civil servant in the town of Mulhouse in Upper Alsace. Mulhouse in Standard German. Or rather, he was, until the French repeatedly occupied the town at the beginning of the war and interned him and many other civil servants. Dana reported, trying hard to sound matter-of-fact. They also took the mayor with them, and he is now using the privilege of his position to ensure that his employees can keep their relatives informed. Dana explained, holding up the paper in his hand. The letter is from my brother-in-law, not the mayor. How are your sister and brother-in-law? Dana took the question in stride, which alone relieved me of some of my worries. Aside from the circumstances, they are fine. My brother-in-law reports that the French are treating him well. I'm not particularly close to him, but I think he remembers me better because I was in Mulhouse with my regiment and helped my sister escape in the days before he was captured. My sister and her little daughter are safe with my parents. I feel sorry for my little niece, who is now growing up without her father. But unfortunately, that's the case for many children at the moment, he added pensively. You were there in Mulhouse? My trial by fire, Dana confirmed. The war had just begun. We had marched south from Zabern and had not yet taken up position when the French entered Mulhouse without a fight. We caught up with them shortly afterwards, and the battle for Mulhouse was decided within a day, in our favor. But the town and the surrounding villages still suffered. I had only been there twice before the war, but it was depressing to see this town I knew and my fellow countrymen in such circumstances. Almost as if he had forgotten, he added hastily, and my family, my sister, my brother-in-law, and their little daughter, not even a year old, were still in the town and had to endure all that. My sister fled with the child to my parents before the French marched in again a week later. My brother-in-law wanted and had to stay and was then detained during the second occupation. Dana nodded hesitantly, conflicted. Allegedly in retaliation for the Reich's internment of French citizens instead of deporting them when the war was declared. Then he turned away, looking dejected. We did worse things when we took back Mulhouse afterwards. Many of our comrades were angry and suspicious. They had heard how many of the town's inhabitants had welcomed the French with celebrations. He hesitated briefly, then continued. There was a shooting one night. A dragoon died, and the local military leadership wanted someone to hold responsible. From what I've heard, 2 of our troops shot at each other, but of course no one wanted to admit that openly. So the population was blamed. Dozens of houses were burned down, dozens of civilians arrested. 6 of them were executed without trial. Dana stared blankly for a few moments before gathering himself and switching back to a more detached tone. Bitter irony. The mayor had even advocated for the prisoner's release, and a few days later, he was captured by the French after they reconquered Mulhouse. Seems it matter who wins, Alsace suffers. Dana nodded dejectedly. I'm glad there aren't any major battles taking place in Alsace. Mulhouse was liberated at the end of August 1914, and has been in our hands ever since. The fewer incidents, the fewer misunderstandings. I guess it ended up being a long version after all, Dana said with a gentle, contented smile. Then he turned his attention to the paper in his hand. If you'll excuse me, I'd like to read the letter now. I said a quick goodbye and set about distributing the rest of the letters. That's a new story for me. Hunt came to me and asked if he could visit the village pub as soon as possible. Aren't you entertained enough? Well, he pondered, I may have a few good moments lately, but life is short, and that's perhaps especially true for us, if you know what I mean. Every moment counts, and it's not just particularly beautiful here, come on. You can see that too, can't you? I look forward to your first movie. I deflected and then sighed. You seem like a sponge that absorbs everything. Guess I'll have to come up with something better for you. I didn't elaborate, but Hunt seemed immensely pleased with my words. Put his hands on my shoulder in a brotherly manner and thanked me in advance. Haven't had that story either. Oh, it was good news. That's nice to hear. He was also relieved. They are both grateful. He also has a sense of belonging now. And, hospital occupancy is not good. Change down to tired. Change down to strained. No longer tired at all. He is now comradely. And he is also comradely from favorable. Ooh, the hospital is in a bad way. I barely have any provisions left for the next days. I understand that. Your unit is tasked with guard duty. Appoint 2 men to patrol the boundaries of our camp. Next shipment. In a couple of days. Will it be on time? That's the deciding question. Quite frankly, that is the deciding question. Offer assistance, accept, leave, thank you. Right, so guard duty. That is duty number 1. We're going to go for male and cummerbund. A trip to the pub. That would be just Hunt. And helping out here. Done. Next turn. I'm hoping to decrease it by 2 levels. That's what I'm going for. That's the dreams I have. What have we got? Mayor and some of his comrades came back to our camp chatting. They were carrying several baskets full of apples. I stepped into their path. Where did you get the apples? They looked at each other. Lotz finally said, There's an orchard just a few minutes walk away. So you stole them, I prodded. The soldier's silence confirmed my suspicions. Give the apples back. A good relationship with the village can still be vital for us, I reprimanded them. We shouldn't spoil it with such childishness. They looked silently at each other, then nodded, some reluctantly, and headed back with a basket full of apples. We really need some food. I'm gonna skip all the way to over here. Do you have food for me? Thank you! Herr Major is planning an attack. Prepare your men for battle. Your unit is tasked with guard duty once again. Even with all of this exceptional prestige, nauseated removed, well rested added. Standard rations, standard rations. And so we have food, we don't have food, we do have food. It's all a bit of a mess. So we are down to 2 out of 3 levels. I don't know, for some reason I thought it was 4 levels. That's why I was actually trying to get rid of 2 of them to make it halfway. Don't tell me, one of you is going to tell me about a latrine. I never forget what I saw. The corpses, the blood, the bucket full of amputated limbs. The comrade I was supposed to fixate, he didn't have a face anymore. I don't know what was worse, the desperate gurgle that was his scream of pain or the squelching, rasping sound of the bone saw. He is shaken and nauseated. The latrine is filled to the brim. Wow, we know which one of the 2 of you's doing that job, don't we, Linux? You told me about it. You get it. And so we're going to go down for that one. And so, yeah, we'll leave it with that, I think. Since we are far from the nearest field bookstore, the soldiers could only get books or newspapers by mail. When a mobile war library stopped near us, the Blindungskanon. Again, butchered, I do apologize. Some of my soldiers made their way there, but lots who presumably hadn't noticed my presence yet only commented. They only have the military leadership's capitalist brainwashing anyway. Why capitalist brainwashing? Lots looked momentarily flustered. He probably hadn't expected me to hear his remark. But then he boldly stuck his chin out. Well, what we're doing here is motivated by capitalism, Herr Officer. It's about imperialism, military and economic bases, colonies, resources, and finance. About goals that a privileged social class alone has chosen, and we are now bleeding and our families are starving for. I didn't care much, but others might. Wow, yes, sir, and officer. He looked around uneasily once and then hastily withdrew. There are spies everywhere. No, no, no. Ooh, harvest time added. Nauseated. Ah, yes. He tidied out the latrine for me, didn't he? I am ordered to expand the rear trenches. I don't want to. Go away. What have we got? The harvest has begun in the village. Right. We are going to come to the field kitchen. Field cook. Rations. Double. Leave. We're going to come here. Village. You, Madame LaRoche, offer help. Accept. Very generous of you. Leave. Harvest. Dig trenches. Not you. 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 And we're going to go you. Harvest. You. And you. We are going to get Commandant off the faltering condition if it's the last thing I do in this world. Next turn. Or the last thing he does in this world. Hey, we'll see what's more likely. Although our uniforms were now field grey and no longer shiny and colourful, like they used to be, the soldiers still had to look orderly. I therefore ordered them to use this evening to mend their uniforms if necessary. When many men complied, I saw Corumbud also undressing. I knew that his uniform was already perfect and accurate. He took care of that on his own. I praised his diligence. You're doing fine, I praised him. Corumbud continued to undress anyway. I'll just look over it again, he said, and almost fell over with how clumsy he was acting. I didn't need a performance. Listen, I know in basic training you often do pointless tasks that you're not supposed to question, but that's over now. This isn't theater, it's the front. Corumbud blushed and then hastily put his clothes back on. He avoided me for a while after that, but maybe from now on, he would deliver rather than just play a role. One evening, Corumbud was sitting in front of his tent, polishing his boots with dedication. Lotz came up and quietly watched for a bit before asking, "Why do you even bother? They'll just get dirty again. So do clothes and homes, and still you clean those, don't you? But those don't get dirty every other step. Our boots do, especially in this mud. Besides, who am I supposed to impress with my shiny boots around here? Hearing that, Colonel paused, laid down his cleaning rag, and locked eyes with Lotz, his expression somber and grave. Honor demands that a German soldier is to represent the Vaterland at all times. With a contemptuous downward gaze, he added, and your boots are a disgrace to the Vaterland. Lotz rolled his eyes dismissively. It was then that he noticed me, and for a moment, worry flashed across his face. And why should worry flash across his face? Because I'm who you impress around here, sunshine. Clean your dirty boots. Right, so, yes, we're going to try to strike a bit of fear into the hearts of our soldiers. He is upset. That's a shame. We actually lost some rations. Interesting. Preparing church service isn't tiring. So I don't know why he became tired last time he did it. We'll keep an eye on that. These villagers are suspect. Well then. We're going to go back down to standard rations. Puts us up to 4. We're going to patrol a village. You, and then let's get some of that harvest on the go. We're going to put all 3 of the others into the harvest and see if we can actually get some more food. We have an engagement in 1 turn. And what a quiet turn it was. No story, no events, no problem. 4 of our guys feel belonging from the church service. Hunt is no longer grateful. Although I did send him to the pub when he asked. I feel like that should linger on a little bit more. Gather your men. We're marching into battle. Here's your gear. A little bit light on bullets still. We do have 3 hand grenades, however. And so, of course, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we shall leave the episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you are going to stick with us for the rest of the series and see if we can make it all the way to the end. Touch wood. Without any deaths. We're, of course, still in the very early stages. We have not even made the first home leave. I mean, we're quite near the beginning, actually. We're only about 3 months out of 12 into the first home leave or something like that. And so, until we see you again, as per always, I do hope that you can stay safe, happy, and healthy.